Stick of butter. Make sure you keep the caps on them because they're a long wear foundation. The caps keep it fresh, otherwise they dry out and they'll start to crumble on you. So caps are important. Those lashes. Whose lucky partner is this right here? Seriously. So I drew on Patrick, and now what am I doing?
Blending.
This foundation is the only one that I would definitely say a hard no to using a sponge with. I've tried it and it doesn't blend out. Like, it's one of those moments you get in your car and do the visor and you're like, and I still have stripes on my face. But do you see how easy this blends? Let's do one that is currently not in your set. It's a flat brush. The stippling brush works really well for this too. Look at that. If you're invited to attend Academy, we add more brushes to your brush belt, so it's one that they couldn't give out at Academy. So we're gonna prime the eyelids. Why do we prime the eyelids?
Shadow sticks better.
Not creasing. What else? The colors are more vibrant. They last all day. They're smooth. Prime, not to prime. We all have a little bit of pigment on our eyelids. This also neutralizes. It gives you that blank canvas. So my friends, when you go to practice on your partner, you are going to do their complexion. So that's foundation, concealer, powder. After you've applied that, you will then go to lip and cheek. So from here, you're gonna jump to lip and cheek. What are you doing after complexion?
Lip and cheek.
The theory behind it is when you do lip and cheek first, is that because the face is almost done, it gives you more balance to your eye look. I know that the influencer likes to start with a naked face and end with complexion, and it's because they're really heavy-handed, the fallout that occurs. So if you just practice portion control, you're not gonna have that fallout, so there's no need to go back and clean it up. So you do wanna start with a complexion, lip and cheek for balance, and then end it with the eyes. I like to start out for my primer with my fingers. I find that it warms it up. Colors 3 and 5 are the most universal. Honestly, it's really the only thing we need. I'm sorry, my hands are really cold. They're like glacial. I do the shadow base all the way from the lashes up to the brows. If you forget shadow base, your colors won't move as well. You're gonna be like, why won't this color show up? Like, keep packing it on. And I'll say, did you do shadow base? You're like, oh, I forgot. I'm using a concealer brush. It's a mini version of your foundation brush. Your foundation brush is a nylon bristle. It's made not to absorb the product, but to repel it. So it doesn't absorb or soak up all of your foundation. Same thing with your concealer one. Look at those lashes.
And them brows.
And that face.
Look at that.
Look at that angel.
Yeah, he's like,
Nobody said anything.
Brianna said nice things.
It's true.
Yes.
Play the tape back. All right, my friends. So I like to wipe my hands occasionally again so I don't make a mess on myself. I'm going to start out with the classic contour. It's 2 colors, 2 lights and a medium. So this French nude palette is actually super fabulous for this look because I have my 2 lights that I'm going to use, and then I'm going to use this middle color. I'm not going to use the bottom one. It's a little too dark for his intensity level. So for him, this is going to work fabulous as his crease color. I don't like to put my brushes into my palettes, my powders. To me, it's really yucky to do that. So I work off the tissue, especially your 5 pounds. How hard is it to get these out of the unit in your store? Like, you dig your nails into them, and as soon as you get it out, it falls on the floor, you broke it, and now you don't have a tester. So if you just run a tissue over it while it's in the unit, you don't have to worry about destroying anything. They're really soft, so don't push super hard because you will break them. And especially if you just came out with new palettes and everybody's trying to play with the same thing, you don't have to fight over them because you're just working off your tissue.
Oh, it grabs a lot of color too.
It really does grab a lot of color. And your cleanup is super easy. You don't have to worry about putting all those testers back at the end.
For the tips.
You're welcome. I'm very generous with the tips. Because you should give those types, like, not this, to your client. All right, I have a flat brush. I'm gonna use both sides of this brush. I'm gonna do the more orangey, the darker one, because of his intensity. Do I blow on brushes?
No.
Why not?
Make him
Take
frown.
At that point,
Tap
I
it.
might as well lick his face because I'm spitting on the brush. And he's like, okay. I say work it into the brush so you're not wasting all of that product.
Oh, always tap
You
it.
always come back and use it.
Instead of putting it in the air.
Well, and especially if you're a makeup artist and you're being invited into people's homes to do makeup, and you spend, you know, you're doing this all over their expensive tile and
True.
carpet,
Yeah.
instead of paying you for your services, they're going to send you a bill
Yeah.
for the cleaning. So just, you know, break that habit. See how I'm pressing the color?
Mm-hmm.
Just packing it on.
And it shows
The other
up.
side of the brush, I pick up the other color. Maximizing. And then under his brow. That's it. So those are my two colors. That one's super fast. Then I'm going to grab an angled one. You guys have number 13 that helps you do this in your set. Number 13 is an angled brush.
That's a good one.
I'm lifting his lid a little bit so I can really get in there. See, I'm light
Pretty.
Softly.
Yes.
and I bring it up. It's a slow windshield wiper because I know I have product on here. I'm gonna leave some of that on my hand because at this point I just want to blend it. And I'm smoothing it out.
Beautiful.
For us.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's really natural.
And I'm having a hard time seeing that side. Okay, perfect. So here, that guy needs liquid liner. It's a really thin line. Liquid is the best for this. And I'll give you some tricks on how to do liquid liner.
Yes.
So to sanitize, spray with alcohol. Before you use it, make sure he sees you're clean. This one, shake it like a salt shaker. It's faster. You all are singing that song?
Yes.
The pigment is in here, which is why you have to shake it. So I always tell my clients to look down, kind of tilt their head back. Let me know if you need to blink. Look down, my friend. And I start at the center. I hold it on the side. And I'm using his lashes like my slip and slide. I stop at the end of the lashes. I'm not winging this out. And I went out because I want the most of the product at that outer edge. As I have less product, that's when I'm coming in towards the center.
Beautiful.
By slowing it down for your customers, like they're able to use liquid. A lot of times they think that they have to go straight on with a point. They get the peaks and valleys and it skips. So just by kind of making like these dashes across using that lash line, you can achieve a really thin one that's really pretty on you.